saw what appeared to be someone sitting crisscross on the ground. The ground is hard, like stone. I'm thinking of pillars. It's like pillars in a big empty room or empty space. Designs on the wall. Kind of curved designs. Can't quite make out what it is. Definitely see some sharp 90-degree angles. I think this was man-made. Saw it for a split second, but it seemed like it was someone in a robe. Can't tell if it's female or male. I see box shapes. There's about 3 of them. I see like these rock patterns. It's like how you see layers of rock in like a canyon. That's what I'm seeing right now. Maybe that's a design on the wall, or either that's what the surrounding area looks like, rocky, mountainous. Very random, like a blue metal door that has 3A, like 3, like they numbered the door 3A, and I'm just gonna follow it, see where it takes me. I think that's imagination bleeding too much through. I'm gonna reset. There's something like wavy and jagged. I don't know if it's whether it's clothing or it's like the architecture or maybe rocks, but something's like really jagged. Yeah, I'm seeing outside one of those old, I don't know, those old buildings that have like the pillars and stuff on them. The beautiful architecture. Red. A red fabric. I was thinking of a dragon's head randomly. Might be imagination. Gonna have to write that one down. I'm thinking of like those skinny, uh, it's like European towns, whereas like narrow, like pathways through the buildings in the city, kind of like a marketplace, where they had different colored buildings, but they seem very condensed, close to each other. Probably analytical. I was thinking of like a statue holding a bow. I get the feeling this place is old, but we're in the modern time. A lot of old buildings. I see a pattern like a stained glass window. I see water. It's like going water flowing like from a fountain. Books, library. It was like darkness and I saw like a lot of white lights. It was like as if I was seeing maybe a skyscraper from afar. How it's a bunch of white lights with little spacing in between them. And I was looking up the side of a building. It seemed like they have one of those older style windows. I guess the best way to compare it with would be maybe like the old colonial style, how they have like a stone inlet surrounding the window frame. It's like fancy, something pointy. I think it might be assuming things, but I was thinking of a pyramid. Could perhaps be like a painting of a pyramid, maybe. I think people would uh, visit this area to look at like the architecture and things. That's the feeling I'm getting. Design in the floor. It's like a circular design in the floor. It's intricate. I'm not feeling any physical sensations in my body. Maybe this area has a moderate temperature. I randomly thought of like someone owing someone else money. Is that related to this place at all? I'm not sure. There's a woman presence here in this area. I think she was dressed modern like. Alright, I feel like my mind's eye has gotten bored. I'm gonna end the session here. Here's the coordinates, and it's in San Francisco. I originally thought it was an island, like Alcatraz, but it's an island I never heard of. It's the Farallon Islands. So I tried exploring around, see if I can get a street view. There is no pictures on the street view because it's not a very publicly accessible area. It's more of a nature preserve for birds and other wildlife. But there's a lot of history to it, actually. Um, we can take a look at the Wikipedia first. The first Europeans to see these islands were most probably the members of Juan Cabrillo expedition. Okay, yeah, to collect seal meat and bird eggs for his ship. So the islands were first given their names Farallones, literally cliffs, by Friar Antonio, 1603 expedition. So in the years following the discovery of the islands during maritime fur trade era, the islands were exploited by seal hunters, first from New England and later from Russia. So 1812 to 1840, taking 1,200 to 1,500 fur seals annually through American ships had already exploited the islands. Okay, so a lot of poaching animals with this island. Okay, after Alta California was ceded by Mexico to the United States, 1848. The treaty, the beginning of 1853, a lighthouse was constructed, and we'll go over where that lighthouse is. So, seabird colonies under severe threat as eggs were collected in the millions for San Francisco markets. So, at least 500,000 eggs a month. It was a source of conflict between the egg collecting companies and the lighthouse keepers. Conflict turned violent in a confrontation between rival companies in 1863. So it was also known as the Egg War. Left two men dead and marked the end of the private companies on the islands, although the lighthouse keepers continue egging. So a high frequency direction finding station was established here by the Navy during World War II. The radio intercept sites along the coast could track Japanese warships and merchant marine vessels as far as Western Pacific. Coast Guard maintained a staffed lighthouse until 1972 when it was automated. So there's nuclear waste dump as well. Shipwrecks off here. I guess someone swam from San Francisco to there, or several people did. So now it's a protected area. It's a national wildlife refuge for all the previously poached animals that were there. All right, so the lighthouse is located like on the very top end right here. I'll get a picture. So we'll get like a landscape of the area. There's a lighthouse right there. And I guess they would have to lift the actual boats to get on the land. So this area just has a few researchers living in the old lighthouse houses on here. Yep, that's you can see the island from San Francisco. Yeah, and these houses, there's about two or three other ones. So these are the eggs that, like the seabird eggs they would take. Uh, you could correlate that with the round shape I drew. It might be reaching a little bit, but it's pretty interesting. So this is a close-up picture of the old lighthouse that used to be there, but this is a more modern version of it now. So it's more automated. And what's interesting is the blue door. I couldn't find a good picture to see what it exactly says right here, but this door is blue. or maybe gray, blue gray. And I did have an impression of a blue metal door, which that is. And this is what was actually in the lighthouse. And they took it down and put it in a museum on the mainland. And I could see where an impression could think that it's like a stained glass window. So these are the two houses researchers live currently. Uh, these round things right here, I had no idea what they actually were, but it's actually to collect water uh, from the sea air so they can get purified water there. I never seen anything like it before. Yep, here's this flat part of the land. I was watching a bunch of documentary videos of I guess they keep birds there as like a kind of a safe habitat uh when they're chicks, and then they'll bring them out when it's time to bring them out. And I'm assuming this building has something to do with here as well. And these are solar panels. So yep, this is that landing strip thing. There's multiple of them, I guess. But very few buildings. Most of it's just natural. And we could take a look at pictures through here. So a lot of ridges, rocks. And there's also a lot of boat tours that go around the whole island. And they observe whales. It seemed like it was like a 2.5 hour journey through a boat, a small boat at least. And you can see the island from San Francisco, which it makes me wonder the I mentioned like lights from a skyscraper. So maybe possibly I picked up on seeing a skyscraper from San Francisco from afar. Yep. Here's some more pictures. Yep, there's seals here, all sorts of birds. So this kind of stuck out to me is this is where the lighthouse is on top of. Very pyramid like. Maybe that's what my mind first went to, is just seeing this silhouette and like, oh, it must be a pyramid. Yep, you see the lighthouse up there. Same thing. I mentioned water rushing like through a fountain. I mean, waves are crashing into these rocks all the time. So yeah, I know it's a little vague of an analysis, but it's the best of what I could do. I tried researching as much as I could to get some good pictures for feedback, but that's what I'm able to produce for you. So I'll see y'all next time.